blood on your knuckles. Not yours. You didn't even see the punch land. 1 second, you're scanning the line. The next, a glass bottle is spinning across the floor, and someone's screaming your name like you're the one who did something wrong. Welcome to your shift. You thought this job was just standing by a door looking big, checking IDs, saying, "Not tonight," to guys in bad shoes. That's the picture, right? Cross your arms, look serious, collect a paycheck. By the end of this video, you'll understand why almost nobody who does this job for more than a year still believes that picture, and why so many of them can't quite explain, even to themselves, why they keep coming back. At first, it really does feel that simple. You get the black polo, an earpiece, maybe a radio clipped to your belt. Someone hands you a laminated list of banned faces and stands you behind a velvet rope, checking names off a guest list. You'll get the hang of it, they say. For the first few weekends, it almost feels easy. Stand here, look alert, nod at the regulars, nod at the promoter, collect your cash at the end of the night, and go home smelling like other people's cologne and cheap vodka. Then the real math starts showing up. 12-hour shifts on a Friday, Saturday, sometimes a quick Thursday too, because someone called out. Doors open at 9, close at 4, but you're there at 7 for briefing, and you're not leaving until the last drunk stumbles out around 5. That's 10 hours on your feet minimum, often closer to 14. Multiply that by 3 or 4 nights a week, and you're clearing 40, 50 hours before anyone even calls it a full-time job, because on paper, it isn't one. Your hours get scheduled just under 30 a week, again and again, right below the line that would legally require the company to offer you health coverage. No sick days, just cash, or a check that never quite says full-time on it, no matter how many nights you give them. Your knees go first, then your lower back. Standing that long, night after night on concrete or tile, does something to a body that no gym membership fixes. Ask anyone who's done it 5 years, and they'll tell you about the ache that starts in October and doesn't leave until spring. Some develop hearing damage from years next to speaker stacks. Some just stop being able to sleep on a normal schedule at all. Their body clock rewired to run hardest at 2 a.m. and crash at noon, permanently out of sync with everyone they love. Then there's the night nothing prepares you for. Maybe it's the girl who grabs your sleeve in the bathroom hallway, eyes too wide, saying someone put something in her drink and she doesn't know who to trust. Maybe it's the regular you've nodded at for 2 years who suddenly pulls a knife over a spilled drink. Maybe it's just a body on the floor that isn't moving right, and you're the one who has to decide, in 3 seconds, whether this is a medical emergency or a scene about to explode. Nobody trains you for the specific weight of that decision. You just carry it afterward. And here's the part that surprises people. You're not the only one. Talk to security workers across cities, across countries, and the stories rhyme. Industry surveys on nightlife and hospitality staff consistently point to the same pattern. High rates of physical assault on the job, most of it never reported, most of it treated as part of the work rather than an actual incident. Workers describe it in interviews the same way, almost word for word. You just shake it off and get back to the door. Because to most of the people walking past you, you're not really a person. You're furniture that can say, "ID please." Customers look through you. Some spit insults when you deny them entry, testing whether you'll flinch. Management smiles at you in the hallway and forgets your name by the next shift. You become the wall everyone leans on and nobody notices, until the wall isn't there, and suddenly everyone's asking where security was. And the money rarely matches the risk. Ask around, and you'll hear the same quiet complaint. The tip jar by the door that somehow stays empty by 1 a.m., no matter how many people you helped get home safe. Contracts written just under the hour threshold that would require the club to offer real benefits. Overtime that gets forgotten until you ask twice. A little-known truth most patrons never think about. In a lot of markets, door security workers make less per hour than the bartenders they're protecting. The ones handing out drinks to people security has to physically restrain an hour later. Then there's the night the danger stops being theoretical. A fight spills out onto the sidewalk, and someone pulls a weapon you didn't see coming. You're between 2 people who both want blood. No backup for 90 seconds that feel like 90 minutes. Radio silent because the one other guy on shift is dealing with his own crisis 3 doors down. Your training kicks in, the little bit you got, and you do what you can. Afterward, your hands shake for an hour, and nobody asks if you're okay. And when you finally do ask for help, better lighting outside, a second person on weekend doors, an actual incident report system, the answer is usually some version of, "We'll look into it." A new sign goes up. A promise gets made in a staff meeting. Nothing structural changes. The company's real protection plan, most nights, is you, your judgment, your body, your willingness to absorb the first hit of whatever chaos walks through that door. Meanwhile, the squeeze only tightens. More capacity crammed into the same room to hit revenue targets. Fewer staff scheduled because payroll got cut. The same wage you had 2 years ago, even as everything around you got more expensive and more dangerous. So why do people keep doing this? Talk to enough of them and you stop hearing about the paycheck and start hearing about the schedule. Cash in hand at the end of the night when rent is due tomorrow. Hours that let a single parent pick up their kid from school every afternoon. A job that doesn't ask for a resume when nobody else called back. For a lot of people, it isn't the dream. It's the door that was open when every other one was locked. But somewhere in all of that, something real grows too. It's the other guys on the door who've got your back without needing to be asked, who clock the same look in your eyes that means, "I need 30 seconds," and quietly cover for you. It's the regular who used to be a stranger and is now someone who checks in on you when you look tired. It's the kid you walk to his Uber at 3 a.m. instead of letting him wander off alone, who came back weeks later just to say thank you. Underneath the exhaustion, there's a kind of quiet pride most people never see. The pride of being the reason a night didn't turn into something worse. So the next time you walk past someone standing at a door at midnight, arms crossed, face unreadable, look at them for 1 extra second. Say thank you. Ask how their night's going and actually wait for the answer. Because somewhere behind that blank expression is a person who has spent hours absorbing everyone else's worst nights just so the rest of us could have a good one. And most of us never even learn their name.